Hi, it's Steph. Thanks for clicking. This is my first update for Clue's Special Panning Edition Round 3. I created this Pantastic Ladies project and it is based on the board game Clue. I decided to turn it into a panning game. In this version of the game, you are still trying to solve the murder of Mr. Body. It was one of the 6 suspects with one of the 6 weapons in one of the 9 rooms. Each month you work on 3 prompts from each of those categories. You pick your prompt, you roll your dice. The dice roll is your usage goal. Once you have met your goal, you can use that prompt in a 3-part guess, and if you're wrong, one of those is going to be eliminated for you. By process of elimination, you should be able to solve the case. I am also still working on round 2 because I haven't solved that yet, but I did start round 3. We're going to go through the suspects' weapons and rooms that I've been working on over the last month. The first suspect that I was investigating is Mrs. White. She is something white. I picked this Au Naturel Creme Shadow in the shade White Quartz. There it is. I had a goal to use this 9 times, and I did, as of the intro, have this also in Beauty and the Beast. I still needed one more use on it in that project. I did get the use on that project, so now it's just in this one, and I have 6 uses towards this one. So I am still 3 short of my goal. I tried, I didn't quite get there. This shadow is quite old. It still works, but it's creamier than it used to be, which means it doesn't have the staying power that it once did. So this doesn't really last all day, but I can wear it if I'm only wearing makeup for 4 or 5 hours. My second suspect is Mr. Green, and he is something green. This is my KVD Super Pomade in the shade Power Green. My goal is to use this 11 times. I didn't use it at all, so we're just going to move on and pretend that didn't happen. My third suspect is Professor Plum, and he is something purple. This is a purple lip crayon. The writing is all gone. I don't know what brand this is, but it is purple. My goal was to use this 7 times. I've used it twice, so I did not meet my goal on this. This is more of a fall color. It is rather sheer, so it is still something that is wearable, but because it's a bit deeper, I like it better in the fall than I do in the summer. I did get 2 uses out of it. I have 5 to go. Now I'm into the weapons. The first one was the lead pipe, and that is something matte. This is the Jean-Michel Quartet Lumineux eyeshadow in Accents de Terre 2. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. But my goal was to just use this quad 3 times. If I used 1 shadow, then that was a use. If I used all 4 in a look, then that was a use. I did get all 3 uses on this. So this is a gold matte. These shadows are all matte and they are very old. This is actually something I got from my mom. She had never used it. I was the first person to use it, but it is very possible that this might be the same age as I am. I don't really know, but it works fine. Like, they're pretty average mattes, so I don't mind using it at all. My second weapon is the rope, and that is a hair product. This is the Olaplex No. 7 bonding oil. I use this as a heat protectant, is what I typically use hair oils for. I had a goal of using this 4 times, and I did use it 4 times. You can't really tell because you need very little hair oil, but I did use it 4 times, so this is also a goal met. As far as I'm concerned, all hair oils seem to perform about the same way, so I don't really like it or dislike it as compared to any other oils I've tried. It's fine, but I wouldn't go searching for it, this one in particular. My last weapon is the wrench, and that is something that twists up and down. This is a Milk Makeup highlighter in the shade Lit. The writing's kind of all worn off, but that's what it is. My goal was to use this 3 times, and I did. That is rolled all the way up. I'm still not having a problem using it, so I will keep using it until I can't, but I have met my goal on this. It's a decent highlighter. I can underpaint with it, and I can tap it on top of a liquid foundation as well, so I do enjoy this highlighter a lot. I am probably going to miss it when it's eventually gone, but for right now, it is just rolling out of this project as a goal met. Now we're on to the rooms, and I had 3 of those as well. The first one that I pulled in is the lounge, and that is something you sit down to use. This was my unconventional choice. I picked this 10 swat foot bath, which is now out of the box because I have used it. So this is a convenient foot bath. That's it all popped up. It does collapse, so it can be stored underneath something. So that's pretty convenient. And I have enjoyed it. I've used it 4 times. My goal is 12, so I'm working on it. It does everything I could want it to do. It heats, it bubbles, it has red light. I don't know if red light actually does anything for you. I have had people who work in the medical field tell me different things. Some of them think it's just a psychosomatic sort of thing, and others say that red light actually is beneficial. I don't know who's right, and I don't care. I'll go ahead and use it. I don't think it's hurting me anyway. I do like this foot bath, and I will continue using it. When I use it, I am putting something in it. The 4 times I've used it, I've used bath salts, and they're lemon scented because I like lemon scent in summer. But this is what it is, and I will still have it in this project because I have another 8 uses to go. My second room is the library, and for this one you can pick anything, but you have to tell a story about it, and I'm not going to repeat the story. But the item is the Pacifica Plant Magic Polish in the shade Sugar Sugar. It is a white nail polish. I rolled a 10, which is pretty inconvenient, and I've used it twice. So I have 8 uses to go. I am wearing it now, and as a side note, I am getting better at that nail stamping thing. So that does look better than my past attempts with the nail stamp, and I'm pretty happy about that. The nail stamp polish on there is actually a really dark purple. On the white nail polish it looks black, but it's not. I am overdue for a pedicure, so that will be one more use, and I need to step up my game if I want to have this goal met anytime soon. My last room was the billiard room, and that is something that you can put in your pocket. These are the REM Beauty, I think they're called satin silk blotting papers, something along those lines, but this is them. I had these in my desk drawer at work whenever I filmed the intro, so I didn't get to show them to you, but I do actually have them. My goal was to use 9 of them, and I've done that. So the billiard room is a goal met. I do like these papers. They do seem to absorb more oil than other ones that I've used, which might be the charcoal in there doing that. So I do appreciate that, and I am perfectly happy to use them. I generally do still use a whole one whenever I blot my face, which I typically do around lunch at work. So that's where I'm usually using them, and this is a goal met. That was all of the products that I was working on, and I met my goal on all 3 weapons and 1 of the rooms, but no suspects, which means that I can't place a guess. I do need 1 suspect, 1 weapon, 1 room per guess, so I don't get to guess anything this time, which is unfortunate. But I can still roll things in for the prompts that I have finished, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Since I am still working on my original 3 suspects, I'm not bringing in any more suspects, but I did finish my goals on all 3 weapons, so I'm just going to bring in the other 3 weapons. The first one is the revolver, and that is a whole collection roulette. And so I used my inventory that I have in an Excel sheet, and I randomized a number, and I picked the item that corresponded with that number. There are 709 items in my inventory right now. The number that was picked for me corresponds with a skincare sample, so that's pretty convenient. It's also not very surprising because I have about 100 of them. This is the Tula Skincare Bedtime Bright. This is a sample, and while I wasn't at all surprised to get a skincare sample, I was pleasantly surprised that this is actually one that I've used before. This is the serum that was living in my travel bag, so I've actually used it a couple of times, and so it's now in a project, which is neat. I rolled an 11 when I rolled the dice for this, which is a high number, but for skincare that's not that hard, and honestly I might just go ahead and finish it. We'll see how that works out, but I have 11 uses on this serum for the revolver. The next weapon is the knife, and that is something that betrayed you. This is my Lancome Dual Finish in the shade Claire 2. That's all it says on the packaging, but this is a powder foundation is what it is. It comes with this little puff thing, and I tried using the puff when I first got this, but I really couldn't get an even application with it. So that's how it betrayed me, and ultimately I gave up and I just use this with a brush now. And so that's probably what I'm going to do with it. The dice told me to use this 6 times, which shouldn't be hard. I wear powder foundations pretty regularly, and that's actually more common for me in the summer. So this is conveniently timed, and it's usually when I'm using cream cheek products as well. I'll put the cream cheek products down and then I'll put the powder foundation over it, and that's generally how I wear them. And I will see if I can do that 6 times in the next month. That just leaves the last weapon, which is the candlestick, and that is something that you display on my dresser where I keep my makeup items. I keep most of them in drawers, but I do have a lipstick rack, one of those, and so those are the items that I keep on display. So I picked a lipstick out of there. This is the L'Oreal Color Riche in the shade Montmartre. This hasn't been in a project, but I've been wearing it a lot over the last 2 months, so I might as well put it in a project. This is the color. I do really like it, and I will be using this 7 times because that's what the dice told me to do. Since I met my goal on 1 room, I am just going to bring 1 in to replace it, and the room that I'm bringing in is the hall, and that is something that made a good first impression. The product I picked for that is this Lord & Berry Silk Kajal Kohl Liner. It's in the shade White. This is a very nice liner. It's very creamy. It lasts a nice long time in my waterline. I also use it as an inner corner sometimes. So this made a good first impression, and I still love it. So it has held up to that first impression in this case. And the dice told me to use this 7 times as well. So I have 7 uses on this white liner. So there's my update for next time at a bare minimum. I intend to hit my goal on this cream eyeshadow for Mrs. White. That will give me 1 suspect, and I will be able to make at least 1 guess. There's actually a decent chance that I could once again hit my goal on all 3 weapons, and I will just have weapons sitting around waiting to be used. if you meet a goal and it is not used in a guess, you still get credit for meeting that goal. So you can just guess it later whenever you have something to go with it. And so my weapons will just be sitting around until such a time as I need them. I am also crossing my fingers that I could hopefully get my other 5 uses on Professor Plum and also meet my goal on the hall, and then I'd be able to guess 2 things. We'll see if I manage to pull that off. Until then, wish me luck, good luck with your projects, and I will see you next month. Bye.